Alright, hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Miss Mo. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about, write it down. I'm going to be talking about things that I prioritized, not only in my 20s, but just growing up, and like just when I was younger. I mean, I feel like I'm young now, even though my bones are telling a different story. I still feel young. But just things that I prioritized when I was younger that no longer guide me or rule over me. Um, and so hopefully this will be a quick video, but y'all already know how that go. It don't be quick. um, but my time limit is 23 minutes, so I need to be able to make this video in 20 minutes. Is the limit that I'm putting on myself. Okay, so the first thing is in regards to things that I prioritized when I was younger that no longer guide me now. And the first thing is the love of a man, prioritizing the love of a man versus prioritizing the love of a man over God's love. Oh, move, Nat. I'm trying to be all inspirational and shit. And so the reason why I start off with that is because as I've gotten older, um, and it has only happened in a way since I started my YouTube channel, of like this desire to really love myself and to really appreciate who I am and to really not define myself by my past. But in that journey of loving myself, I have learned to appreciate and love and um, even desire more of God's love. And although I think when people say they grew up in a church, I think it more so means that they went to church a lot. And I wouldn't say I went to church a lot, but I did go to church every Sunday, and I did go to Sunday school, and I was an altar server, and I was a Sunday school teacher just for a little bit. But even though it was like mandatory for me to go to church, I feel like I didn't really understand what it was meant by um, understanding God's love. I mean, I tried, but I mean, you a kid. Like you haven't. The people are shielding you so much from the world that you haven't really experienced, for the most part. Some childhoods are obviously different, but for the most part, you haven't really experienced what it means to understand and desire God's love and just appreciate it for what it is. Like, just appreciate it. And I think because of the things that I was watching on television, um, and just the things that I would see of like people in a way being chosen by somebody in terms of like being liked by somebody, um, I wanted that. I wanted that a lot. And it was like, yeah, I know God loved me, but I want this boy to love me too. Hello. Um, and so now, as I've gotten older, but also by being in a relationship, and like, I love my partner, but not even but, I love my partner. However, in order for me to love them better, I have to learn how to love myself better, and I have to learn how to continue to put God within this relationship so that God can teach me how to love myself better and therefore how to love my partner better, if that makes sense for anybody. And so, yeah, I'm looking towards God's love as truly for what it is, an example of how to maneuver through relationships, how to maneuver through this life. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with that. And so moving on to the second thing that I prioritized when I was younger, but no longer guides me as I'm older now, is standing up all the time. I know I went from like this whole all spiritual growth thing to something as silly to those who don't get it, but it's very important to those who do get it. I feel like when I was younger, like I like to move around a lot. I like to move around, I'll say that. I like to move around now. But when I was younger, like, and I think about sometimes when I worked at restaurants and the constant standing and how they would even, I would say, reprimand you. I think that's the right word. If you are sitting down, I think about that and I'm like, how the hell did I stand up for so long? I've been standing up for hours and no swollen knees or nothing. Maybe my back hurt a little bit, but nope. And then do it the next day. Not this one. Not this one now. I need a seat. I need to sit down. And I heard this recently. It was like a podcast. I think it's called Your Favorite Aunties. And she was just, I don't know, they were just talking about what they not about to do at their big old age. And she said, and one of them said something about, I need a place to sit down. And I resonated with that. I need to sit down. If I were to be on public transportation, whether that's a bus or a train, and it's somebody that like need that, like I'm not gonna be like standing up. If I don't have to, I ain't gonna be standing up holding the rail. I'm gonna find a seat. And if that means that I'm gonna be kissing somebody's arm, well, shit, scoot over. Like, scoot over, ho. I am not about to sit down. I mean, I'm not about to stand up. No, I need to conserve my energy. And it's not weird, but it's just like, I'm not in aching pain, but my bones be tired. So I need to sit down. I need to sit down. And the way my thighs work too, I need something with a little bit of cushion, you know? So, yeah, that's the second thing. I'm no longer prioritizing standing up over sitting down. I need a seat. And because I am active, I mean, I will sit on the floor. I get down on the floor, but just know I'm going to sit down somewhere. That's just how I'm built right now. The third thing that I wrote down was traveling the world traveling the world over understanding my country. And I say this because when I was younger, I was like, how the fuck can I get out of Decatur? I'm from Decatur, Georgia. How the fuck can I get out of Decatur? How the fuck can I get out of Atlanta? How the fuck can I get out of Georgia? How the fuck can I get out of the US? How the fuck can I get out the South? I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. And then I got the fuck out of there. And I've traveled to some places, not a lot, but some places, to the point where I'm like, maybe Georgia wasn't that bad, you know? Maybe the US isn't that bad. Maybe there are places within the US that I should go see and understand, because each state and each city within that state, they have like their own culture, the way they talk and the way they dress. And it's a rich country in terms of culture and diversity. And like a lot of countries have that type of rich culture in terms of diversity. But I feel like now at my age, I'm no longer saying I want to see what's out there, because I for the most part, I got an understanding of what's out there. It's a lot of bullshit that's painted as beauty, which is the same thing in the US. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to be on a plane for like 14, 15 hours just to see some similar bullshit that I would have saw in the US. Nah. Unless it's like a special trip with family or friends. I I just don't really have that much of a desire to see that much anymore as I did when I was younger. Um, and I'm just learning to appreciate just being at home. It's a lot of maneuvering to travel, and sometimes it can be a headache, and I just don't got time for that. Like, I just want to be at peace. Um, and the final thing that I'm going to say is that um, one thing that I prioritized when I was younger that no longer guides me now is prioritizing meeting new people and in a way having new experience over understanding my family. And I say that with the understanding that not everybody want to understand their family. It's really like, fuck them, you know? But as I'm getting older and I have an elderly parent, um, and I've seen how they've raised me. I mean, like how my father and my mother, but how my father have raised me and the temperament that they had when I was younger versus what I had, what the temperament that my father has now. And when I think about the ways that me and my siblings would fight, to now we like, y'all good? Oh, okay, all right. It's just like, I just want to understand them more. I want to understand because we've all walked different paths in life, and I'm more interested in just understanding my family more. Like, why do they think the way they think? Why do they behave the way they behave? And I'm not, if I meet new people and build relationships like that, great. But I'm not desiring that as much as I, in a way, desired it when I was younger. Now, I was like still like an introvert, so it wasn't like, I'm like, hey, let's go to this social event, let's go to this. It wasn't none of that. But when I was out, I tried to talk to people and just communicate with them, and be friendly, and stuff. Like, I try to be social. But now being social is not that important to me. I'll say that. It's not that important to me as, again, understanding my family, and just understanding who they are. Because, and I'm learning that too, just from just a relationship with my sibling, um, like particularly my brother. Like, I always saw him as one way, and now as I'm older, and sometimes still seeing those same characteristics within him, but then just understanding that, like, there are other aspects of him, just like my sister too. Like, there are other aspects of them, and so, and my father, and like, yeah, like, yeah. So just having that more of a desire to have those type of experiences in which I am understanding my loved ones, because to me, I mean, they are part of my tribe. They're part of my history, and by having that lack of understanding, I feel like I miss access to myself. And what I mean by that is that, like, I don't really understand why I do the things that I do, because I'm not necessarily trying to understand people that have impacted my life, if that makes sense. I don't know. It kind of makes sense to me, so we'll see what it look like after I finish recording this video. But yeah, those are things that, like, I feel like I used to prioritize when I was younger, that I don't prioritize now. And the thing that really set this conversation off for me was that love of a man. Because sometimes I feel like movies lie to us about how um, how relationships fix everything. Because in the movies, they make it seem like when you get in a relationship, your whole life will be complete. And I feel like when I started my relationship, my the a new journey of my life was starting. So, ooh, I hope I didn't hear that hard swallow. But so instead of my life feeling complete, it felt like I was restarting a new path in which I had to learn more about myself. I had to learn about them. I had to learn about us. And it's a constant learning and growing because we are um, complicated houseplants, you know? So, yeah, yeah. So if you have any things that you prioritized when you were younger that you like, nah, that don't work for me anymore. Um, Please feel free to share it in the comments below. Or you can email me at mozoloveinc@gmail.com. But thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.